Hello, I'm Brandon Nielsen. Now we're on to how to draw a beautiful face, part 2. This time we're going to be drawing a profile of her head. And we're going to line up the graphs in the same length as the one for the front of her face, sort of. But let's just go with this. Let's go with the inches. Alright, so it's going to be about 6 inches, give or take. So starting from here, draw a line like anywhere you want, like so, and just keep drawing a line. And you need, obviously you need paper and pencil. I mean, you're not that stupid, come on. So anyway, and then you do this like that, right? Now, you measure the inches, like so, and go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not going to be as perfect as the face front proportions. It's a little bit trickier with this one on the profiles. So I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's not going to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead, draw a line here. That's 1. Then there's 2. That's my daughter playing with my wife, so I'm just doing this right now. We're gonna have lunch in a few minutes, so I'm just gonna draw this and try to do it as fast as I can. I'm trying to go really quickly. It's been 2 minutes already. I'm trying. The chart usually takes a long time. Really enough. I hate using, graphs and charts and columns. It's the most boring part, but I'm doing this so you can understand how it works with, the face. So now let's start with, okay. Now, start right here. Use the graph. And, I would start like I will measure about 2 inches. Alright, so 2 inches here. And then go up here, and then 2 inches here as well. Where's the right size? Okay. And then you just draw a graph. Like so. Draw like a line. Like that. I think it's going to be smaller this time. I don't know. We'll see. So it's 2 inches here, and then do another one. 2 inches, same thing. And then go up here, and it is 2 inches. And then you just sort of okay. So now we got hold on, let me pause real quick. Okay, I got to figure it out. It's so weird. It's kind of awkward and kind of weird, but we have to do that perfect circle when it comes to a profile. That's why it's a little bit tricky. Here's 6. I write down the numbers so you can keep track of the columns. as you go along. So now we're gonna do like 2 columns each, and it'll be like squares. So it'll be like a square, and you'll see what I mean. So like go from here to here, make it a little bit darker so you can see what I'm talking about. You don't have to draw on it, I'm just showing you. And so it's 2 columns here and then 2 columns here, right? It's 2 columns, and then you do 2 columns going up. Okay, and that's it. It stops there, right? So I'll show you what I mean. I'm just making it darker so you can see what I mean. Okay? So annoying. But this is it. That's a square, a perfect square. Okay? Now you can see it has, I'm drawing 4 divides into that square. It's divided into 4s. Divided into 4s. And then you divide this right here. Okay? So that's where the facial features are going to be. And now between 1 and, I mean the bottom part of 1 and top part of 1, between that, do use that column. So use the middle, like for instance. So it's like, in the middle of an inch, just directly in the middle of an inch. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just there, so you can draw in there. You'll find out in a minute. So like that, okay? Now let's draw a circle. Okay, starting at the top with the middle main line right here. Use a point here and then go to the bottom of the 5th column on the far bottom left side of the rectangle right here. Okay, draw a curve. Don't draw a straight line, draw a curve. Okay, so what you do is go like this. Now do the same thing. Point on this stop right here. No straight line, curve. Now do the same thing right here. Curve. Doesn't have to be perfect, just, And then from here to here, curve. And now you got yourself a nice circle. Okay? Especially beneficial for those who don't know how to draw like a perfect circle. This is the way to do it. So now you divide this section in half for the top of the ear. Okay, we're going to start with the ear first. So here you start in the middle of column 4. Okay, so do the middle like this, column 4, and then you draw a curve, a curvature into from here down to here. Okay, watch. Now you got the ear down, right? Now, when it comes to an eye, you can see the eyes, it starts at this point right here. Okay? and then you draw like, it looks like a pizza shape. You know, draw like a pie or a pizza slice. So go like this, like a curve, and then this, and then this. So it's like a pizza slice look, you know. Now you draw a line here, you cut that off, and it goes like this. And then over here, I would say about the length of this, which is about like half an inch. Okay, so do half an inch over here on the bottom of the third column. So from here, see this part right here? Start from here to there, and straight line. There you go. And now do another pizza, but this time a little bit bigger than this one. So first you draw. Okay, when you go over here, it's around the half. That mark is a half, and you go straight down like this. Half of that pizza slice, and draw it straight down like so. And that's the mouth area. Okay, and use half of this right here, of this section, half of that, and then use this section right here, draw a line. Now make sure it's the same size over here too. So it's like, okay, for instance, so about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 centimeters. So it's 5 centimeters over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. And then draw a curve like so. That's the mouth. So that's the eye, the mouth, and the nose, and the ear. You got that done. Alright, now you draw a curve starting from here to the bottom of the ear, right here. Draw a curve like this. So it's like this. It does not need to be perfect. Just do a curve like that. So that's the draw line right here. Alright? Now, here comes the trickiest part. This is the hardest one. You want the chin to be about the same, what do you call it? The chin needs to be the same line up. It needs to line up with the edge of that eye right here on the left side. Okay, so you go from here like this. And you want the chin to be right here. Like that. Okay. Now, when it comes to the chin, the lips, as a general rule of thumb, the upper lip needs to be a little bit bigger than the lower lip. So basically, draw a curve over here, draw a curve, do it like that, and on the other side, you need to go a little bit bigger, like this. Now, when it comes to the nose, you want to angle that to down here. The goal is to get this as, okay, when it comes to the size of the upper lip, you want it to go about from here to here, like 1, 2, 3, about 3 centimeters. So do 3 centimeters here, and that's your lip. Okay, and then it stops right here. That's the nose. This is worse than the other one, but it's kind of tricky because it's not very precise. So you have to draw a nose like this and make the nostril small, because generally women's nostrils are pretty small. So draw a curve over here and over here, and then here you draw eyelids and draw a line on top like so, like this. And now the eyebrows line up with the top of the ears always, and make sure the eyebrows are the same length as the eye right here. So the goal is to get it like this. It's a little bit bigger though. It goes to the left a little bit more. And then you draw up like this, color that up, and then angle it down. And it's perpendicular to this side right here. So you angle it down like this, and that's the whole eyebrow. Make sure it looks like a dagger of sorts at the end, or like a needle. Make sure it's sharp. So there's that. And then with the lip, you go up, and then you go down like this. It's sort of like a curve. I'm sorry if it's not the way you want it to look. This one you can move it anywhere you want at an angle. So I prefer up a little bit higher, so it looks nicer. So that's the jawline here. That's okay. So now here with the ear, you draw a curve inside the ear like this, and make sure it's perpendicular, and then you stop right here. And then draw another curve this way, and then go down this way like a U shape, and then the curve like this, do another one over here. Okay, and make sure it's over here. Draw like this. And this one right here, it goes inside like this. And this one here. And this one, there needs to be a U shape over here. It looks like a Y. And that's it. That's your ear. Okay. With the eyes, I will add a little bit of a thickness of the eyelids. Right. You erase that a little bit, make it a little bit thicker. Like this. Okay, and then the iris should be curved like this. And then when it comes to the pupil, which is the middle of the eye, you know, the black part of the eye, you draw it like this. I'll explain why, but that's how it is supposed to look when you look to the side. And it draws like this. And now draw eyelashes like so, and it's like a C shape like this. And do the same thing on the lower lashes. And then you got a profile face. And now when it comes to a hairline, hairline starts in the middle of the 5th column. So you go right here. And then the sideburns, usually it stops right here with the sideburn. You don't go all the way, because then it'll be considered a beard. It's weird. So stop right here where where the, the corner of the eye is. And then you angle it like this way, and then you go up this way like that. And that's the hairline. And when it comes to the neck, I forgot to mention the head. Now that we did the face, the front of the face, now you have to make the head even bigger. Okay? So it's the same size as that square right here. Maybe not that. So it's half of that square. So an inch, right? So over here, you add an inch, like so, and then you go up, like this, and you draw a curve, like a crescent moon curve, and go all the way to the back right here. And that's the back side of her head. Usually women have really big heads going in the back. So that's what it looks like. And you go, you curve down to here, right? So it's like this. And then this, underneath the jawline, you go down, you curve down like this. Well, maybe it's too thin, but you know what I mean. So it needs to go like this. Basically the same corner, like, you know what I mean? So it's like that. And then that's her neck. And the bottom of the hair stops right around here. So now you got yourself a profile. Usually profiles are not important when it comes to a beautiful face. Beautiful faces are seen in the front or at like a quarter side of view of that face. But when it comes to a profile, the general rule of thumb is that the nose needs to be the same length as the ears, but it's a little jacked up. It's a little weird. I would just add a lobe over here, so it lines up with the nose. Now it looks like a real person with real ears. Okay, so now you got it. That's the female face, profile face. Yeah. Now I'm gonna go have some lunch with my family. Hope this is helpful to you guys, and please subscribe if you are interested in this stuff. I wouldn't really subscribe, honestly, because I'm going to cover everything else and not just drawing. I'm going to cover, skateboarding, movies, comic books, superheroes, modeling, sculpting, gaming, everything. So it's just me as a guy just doing this. Yeah, there you have it. That's it for now. Thank you for watching.